ABC 10 News at 7 starts now.
The man shot and killed in his own front yard in Chula Vista was a Navy sailor and a father of 4. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. As our ABC 10 News anchor Vanessa Van Hefty reports, this new information about the victim is coming out as police continue searching for the killer.
Chula Vista police say 36-year-old U.S. Navy Chief Ramon Joseph was shot to death here outside of his home Saturday night. Police got a tip of a suspicious vehicle and then reports of shots fired. Paramedics tried but couldn't save Chief Joseph. The U.S. Navy telling us he was from Louisiana, his duty station on the USS Stetham. Joseph was a career counselor and a father of 4, a senior enlisted member of the Navy. His pictures on this Facebook post from the Ombudsman reads, "It is with heavy hearts that we share the tragic news of the death of one of our treasured steelworkers." It goes on to read, "Joseph left an indelible mark on each of our steelworkers through his charismatic speech, sage counseling, and humble approach to mentorship. His magnetic personality attracted all steelworkers to seek his guidance for both career progression and personal growth. His cheerful disposition, professional demeanor, and warm smile challenged each of us to persevere." The U.S. Navy saying it is not releasing an official statement at this time. Vanessa Van Hefty, ABC 10 News.
And police also add the motive is not clear. They are actively searching for anyone with information and tips.
Turning now to the coronavirus, we once again had fewer than 1,000 new cases today, and our test positivity rate ticked down to 6%. Another 32 people have lost their lives to COVID-19, bringing that number to more than 2,800. And the county will not be moving law enforcement officers higher on the priority list to get vaccinated. Today, County Supervisor Joel Anderson proposed moving law enforcement to a higher tier. He made the case that all first responders get put into situations where there is a COVID risk. But the board voted against the proposal 3-2. Opponents have said they don't feel that younger, healthier people should be moved up ahead of those at greater risk. A first-of-its-kind COVID-19 service site is now open in the North County. The clinic at the Old Palomar Hospital provides both vaccinations and coronavirus testing. High-risk and older COVID patients can also get antibody treatment with a doctor's referral. The drive-through vaccinations will be available Tuesday through Saturday from 9 to 4. Vaccines will be given by appointment only to those who meet the current requirements.
A lot of people are wondering how certain drugs might interact with the COVID-19 vaccines. Doctors say timing might be important. Our ABC 10 News anchor Derek Stahl goes in depth on the concerns about taking certain pain medications close to your shot.
People who are about to get the COVID-19 vaccine are told to expect some mild side effects. 70% report pain or soreness at the injection site. Roughly 1 in 3 experience fatigue or a headache. So it might be tempting to take some pain medication like Tylenol or Advil before the shot. But hold on.
If you had a choice, I wouldn't take it before, I'll take it after.
That's because some over-the-counter pain meds work by blocking chemicals in your body called prostaglandins. Prostaglandins cause those flu-like feelings, but they also have an important job.
It's like a bugle horn.
UCSF infectious disease expert Dr. Peter Chin-Hong says prostaglandins summon immune cells.
So they're like the bugle calling out on the battlefield to say, hey, troops, come. So the idea is if you make the volume softer, maybe not as many troops will come to the battlefield.
By fewer troops, he means fewer antibodies. But he notes it's more of a medical theory than a fact. One study found mice that were given ibuprofen produced fewer antibodies against the coronavirus. Ibuprofen is the active ingredient in Advil and Motrin. In humans, the data is mixed.
There was one clinical trial that did involve a preemptive acetaminophen, and that was the Oxford AstraZeneca trial. And it didn't seem to make really much of a difference in terms of the immune response or not.
Dr. Christian Ramers of Family Health Centers of San Diego says studies from before the pandemic suggest preemptive pain meds might make a difference, but the evidence is thin. A 2016 study found kids who took pain medication before getting a vaccine produced fewer antibodies, but a larger study found it didn't really make a difference.
the evidence isn't conclusive at this point.
Dr. Chin Hong says you should get the shot first, then try simple remedies if you have pain, like a warm towel or moving your arm around. If that doesn't work, he says it's okay to reach for the pain meds.
After the shot, the immune system's already been there and mobilized. So, you're not going to make it mobilized less.
If you want to be extra careful, consider the brand. Ibuprofen-based drugs like Advil and Motrin affect prostaglandins the most, so you might be better off with an acetaminophen drug like Tylenol, although experts say it's just an educated guess. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
Even though the CDC recommends people avoid pain medications before getting the vaccine, doctors do say people who regularly take the drugs for chronic conditions like arthritis should stick to their regular routine. And we also know there are a lot of questions and different experiences with the vaccine rollout. Our ABC 10 News in-depth team is committed to tracking down answers and sharing your stories. So just send us an email to tips@10news.com.
San Diego renters are getting more help. Today, county supervisors approved using $52 million in emergency state money toward rental assistance. And that means the county now has more than $100 million to help people struggling to pay rent. Applications will soon be available on the county's website. And supervisors today also approved $30 million in grants to small businesses impacted by COVID as soon as the stimulus money is made available. Each supervisor's office will choose the recipients. To be eligible, small businesses must employ fewer than 20 people and comply with state and local public health guidelines. Enlisted members of the military being charged more than officers for insurance? That's just one of the allegations in a class action lawsuit against USAA. Team 10 investigator Adam Rakusin breaks down the claims and the veterans behind them.
On its website, USAA says they proudly serve military members and their families. But this federal lawsuit claims when it comes to USAA's insurance, some members are treated better than others.
We discovered that USAA was overcharging enlisted people in order to benefit officers.
Harvey Rosenfield's the founder of Consumer Watchdog. He's filed a class action lawsuit on behalf of two veterans.
USAA is treating enlisted people worse, charging them more for auto insurance than they charge officers. In fact, they've created their own special company just for officers.
According to the lawsuit, USAA discriminates against enlisted military personnel and enlisted veterans by consigning them to its substandard insurance company, which charges higher base rates for automobile insurance. The lawsuit also claims USAA deceives enlisted policyholders by omitting military status from what it represents to be the complete list of information it considers in setting auto insurance premiums. Rosenfield claims USAA violated Military and Veterans Code and the California Business and Professions Code, among other things. He points to Proposition 103, passed by California voters back in 1988.
The law says that it doesn't make a difference if you're a big conglomerate like USAA and you have one company there and one company there, different affiliates, doesn't make a difference. They have to give good drivers the lowest possible price for auto insurance that's sold by any affiliate of USAA, and they're not doing that either.
In a statement to ABC 10 News, a spokesperson for USAA wrote, "We are reviewing the suit and evaluating our legal options. For nearly 100 years, USAA has served the military community by providing products and services to meet their needs. We're looking forward to defending our record of service to the military community." Rosenfield says USAA has violated the rights of enlisted personnel.
It's surprising. It's obviously it's not what they're advertising when they talk about service, loyalty, honesty, and integrity.
Adam Rakusin, ABC 10 News.
The lawsuit asks USAA to change the way it does business and pay back the alleged overcharges.
A man walking around with a gun caused quite a scare at the border today. Callers told police the man had a shotgun and was yelling he was going to kill everyone. When officers arrived at the 700 block of East San Ysidro Boulevard, the man ran across the street and tried to hide from those officers at a Jack-in-the-Box parking lot. But fortunately, that is, officers arrested him without any shots being fired. No word yet on his identity. And an odd scene late this afternoon in Spring Valley. That unusual car crashed into a fence. This was in the 9100 block of Hamishaw Boulevard. From Sky 10, it appeared to be a Polaris Slingshot, which is a three-wheeled vehicle with bucket seats. No word on any injuries or what caused the crash.
There was some shaking in our backyard a couple of hours ago. A 3.8 earthquake hit just southeast of the Salton Sea. Happened about 5 o'clock this afternoon. It was followed by a series of smaller quakes, along with one that also registered 3.8. There are no reports of any damage or injuries.